Peace, 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 love, light, and healing. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. Y'all climb on in. I want to talk about a very, very, very interesting and powerful topic today. We're gonna talk about the hijacking of the African consciousness, the hijacking of the Hebraic African mind, and how it literally is the root cause of all diseases. Peace, peace to y'all. So I might be looking back and forth, y'all, because I'm live from two different phones and two different platforms. So y'all might see me looking back and forth. Y'all climb on in. Again, we finna talk about something. I'm gonna try to explain this real simple, very, very simple. But once y'all get what I'm finna talk about, it will completely blow your mind, and it will be the blueprint to your elevation. It will be the blueprint to expanding your consciousness, for you can go on and make this shift into the fifth dimensional of density. You know, this world is shifting. The earth is shifting. The earth is cleansing and purging herself. And those who are genetically weak and those who have not updated their cognitive mobility to this 5D dimension, you'll be lost in the sauce. So, you know, it behooves us to truly start elevating ourselves and expanding our consciousness. Technology is increasing in the earth. Wickedness is increasing in the earth. War is increasing in the earth. And just this whole fake simulation is finna collapse. And if the fake simulation collapse and you are part of that fake simulation, then you will collapse with it. So I'm finna show you how hijacking the African mind and hijacking the African consciousness is what's breeding and birthing all the diseases that you are suffering with. Okay? Now, before we get into that, I want to show y'all a few books and references that will prove my point and what I'm saying. All right, this book right here is by Walter Rodney, and it's called How Europe Undeveloped Africa. It's called How Europe Undeveloped Africa. This stuff is deep, y'all. This is not a conspiracy. I can prove these things. This one is called Cultural Genocide in the Black and African Studies Curriculum by Dr. Ben Yosef, Yakanan Yosef. Y'all get these books, y'all. What I'm finna say is some mind-blowing stuff. This is another one called The Chemical Maze. The Chemical Maze. And what's important, we're finna talk about mazes and how we are stuck in a maze and we are stuck in a simulation. The Chemical Maze. This is by Bill Statenham. Bill Statenham. Another one, another deep one, y'all, is the falsification of an African consciousness. The falsification of an African consciousness. This is all leading up to what I'm talking about, y'all. What I'm finna talk about is so important. You know, the movie The Matrix is very, very real, y'all, and we are truly stuck in the Matrix. You know, we think that we are actually experiencing live time actuality when we're not. We are stuck and hiding behind a veil due to the hijacking of our consciousness, and these things that have been programmed into our minds, we have been taking it as an actuality or reality when it's not at all. It's a falsification code, and we're taking this falsification code due to our sensory senses as if it is real, and it's not. And this is the reason why we're sick. This is the reason why we're at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to economics and financial literacy. This is the reason why we lack education when it comes to us educating our children to actually, you know, true education is when you teach somebody a tool and that tool is used for the survival of their people. That is true education. If you're teaching somebody, you know, education to survive for the survival and civilization of your people, that's not education, because you're going to school to learn how to fit the agenda and to learn how to make sure that the European and any other nation other than the African nation, you know, have their longevity here on earth. True education of a black man and black woman is when they get educated by their ancestors, and the tools that they learn from their ancestors can be used for the survival of their people and of their civilization. That is education. Anything other than that, it's not education. It's self-annihilation, because you're going to school and you're learning the wrong history. You're going to school and you're learning the wrong literacy. You're going to school to be taught to work a job. You're going to school to be taught how to be a best kept slave. What does that have to do with the liberation and the freedom of our people and of our nation? It don't. So that's why we have to start coming up with our own institutes and our own schools, because we are lost in this matrix. Like we have been fed a falsification, y'all. I mean, we have been fed a false reality. We are literally in the matrix, y'all. We are stuck in a matrix that's inside the matrix, and that's why it's so hard to get out of it, because when you climb out of one matrix, it's another matrix. Then you climb out of that, it's another degree, and it's another degree, and this is all diabolically, put together by the elites, or what we're going to call the deep states, or these reptilian shape-shifting beings, whatever y'all want to call them, and it's being implemented right now. And I'm going to show you how this have a physical manifestation on your body, y'all. This is another one. Or you confused. Or you confused. Yes, you are confused. Everything that you have been taught is a lie. Everything that they have showed you is a lie. This earth is a lie. This sky is a lie. Everything that you find in priority and importance is a lie. It is all vanity. And when you soon realize this, this is when you can climb up out of this hole that we're in, and we can literally bring liberation to our people. This is another one. Destination Eden. Eden Fruitarianism Explained, showing you the true food of man, not the food that you think is food. See that they playing with our senses. They have hijacked our consciousness. So you think food is chicken. You think food is lambs. You think food is hamburgers. You think food is pizza. But true food is fruit. That is the light code frequencies that you need to sustain the consciousness and expand the consciousness of the mind. Here go another one. This one is called modified. Modified. GMOs and a threat to our food, our land, and our future. Modified. GMOs or a threat to our land and our future. Showing you. Here go another one. Hooked. Hooked. By Michael Moss. Hooked. Talking about food. Talking about how they purposely get you addicted to fake food. Now, I'm bringing all these books out because I want to show you what I'm talking about. Okay? You experience reality through your sensory senses. Without your sensory senses, it's impossible to experience reality. I'm not saying what if. There is a people that know this and that controls the information that comes through our sensory pathways. So if you look at Earth right now and you see a real Earth, and I know that you are seeing this Earth by way of your optic lobe, which is your sight senses, by way of, and you smelling the fumes in the air by way of your smell senses. If you touching grass and trees by way of your touch senses. If you hearing birds chirping by way of your ear senses. If you tasting vegetables and fruits by way of your taste senses. If I can change the electrical chemical frequency of your senses, I can program your mind to make you see whatever I want you to see. I can program your taste buds to make you, you can eat a shit burger and it will taste like the best beef burger in your life. You see what I'm saying? So we're going through this reality and we're literally being controlled, and our consciousness is being hijacked by other people to fit their personal agenda. Now, there's something called sensory deprivation. All right. Now, sensory deprivation, y'all can look this up, is when you deprive the senses of actually interacting with its environment. This, if anybody that's into psychology know these things, sensory deprivation. Y'all look this up. They even have sensory deprivation tanks for you can experience euphoria, or you float in a tank and they cut you off from the external environment for you can go deep inside of your mind to start hallucinating. See that? Sensory deprivation. So sensory deprivation is where they cut you off from all external things in the world. They just simply cut you off. And inside this study, they noticed that when you get cut off from the external world, the mind tend to do a unique thing of its own by creating its own world to stay away from the real problems. It's kind of like you start creating this magnificent lifestyle that you're not really living to cover up the memories of you being deprived from everything that make you free. In psychology, this happens all the time where people will purposely cover up traumatic memories memories of them being touched on as little children. They can't remember it anymore because they purposely covered it up because they have experienced all that trauma, and they create a good memory on purpose that never really even happened to cover up the trauma that happened to you when you were younger. This is the same thing that is happening to us right now, and it all plays into this metaverse and what we're moving into, but we're already doing it. See, remember I said we're living inside of a matrix that's inside of a matrix. Now the metaverse is going to be the foundation of that matrix. Now check this out, y'all. So the study shows that that sensory deprivation is the same chemical that is produced by the brain when you are actually asleep. So scientifically, Africans are asleep. Scientifically, indigenous people are asleep. Scientifically, African Americans are asleep. And we're in a dream state. And this is how they do it. They do it through propaganda, and they do it through news media. They do it through promotions. They do it through radio programming. They do it through television, and it's all a distraction to keep you away from the real world. Now, the environment that they have put us in, they created this environment. This environment is nothing but a spiritual sensory deprivation tank. You just can't see the tank, but when you go outside, you know, and you look at the luxury cars and make you want the luxury car. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with none of these things I'm finna say because I love luxury things, but it comes in priorities. If you're chasing after luxury cars and you're chasing after Fendi and you chasing after the designer clothes and you don't own your house or you don't own your vehicle or you don't even own your children and you haven't brought back their social securities and you haven't brought back their birth certificates and you haven't went sovereign, then why are you doing all these things? It means that your priorities is out of order. Now, this is how they do it. They distract you and they make you be addicted through your sensory senses to things that don't really mean anything and to things that don't really exist. Let me show you the matrix, right? You watch TV. The TV will say hamburger at McDonald's, the new Whopper at Burger King, and they will make it so sensual and so sexual, and they have the cheese dripping off the burger. They have the hamburger bun at the right color. They make sure they put in red because red actually attracts you to your root chakra. This is your sexual organ, your sacral chakra, and the first thing you say is, damn, I want a hamburger. Or they'll show you an Emo's or a Papa John's pizza commercial, and the pizza is shaped like a vagina, so you're stimulated by the way that the pizza gate is shaped and by how they put this cheese dripping from the pizza. See, they messing with your optic senses. So now you're thinking in your cognitive entities, dang, I want a pizza. So now you go get the pizza. When you know that your spiritual entity knows that this food is bad for you, but they hijack the senses and it changes you from your actuality and reality to a different holographic fake reality. So now, even though spiritually and consciously you know that you're eating wrong foods, you have become addicted to the fake world and addicted to the fake food because there's natural fruits and vegetables out here growing, but due to the programming and them hijacking your consciousness and tapping into your senses, now all of a sudden you want what's bad for you when you know it's bad for you, but for some reason you can't help it because your senses have been hijacked. Same thing when it comes to your taste. They put all different types of salts and what you would call neurotoxin sugars when they take all of the carbon out of the sugar and they make it in a high fructose corn syrup and they bake it inside of your candy and they put it inside of your foods, and then you taste these things and they alter your taste state. They alter your taste buds, or what we're going to call your taste sensory senses. See, they're depriving you of your senses, y'all. Same thing with cigarettes. When you smoke cigarettes, it burns out your taste buds. It burns out your smell. It takes away your senses. When you drink alcohol, it burns out your taste buds. So now you're looking for something that have an artificial taste, so you run and you go get on the cupcakes. You run and you need candy. You need pieces of gum. You need sugar to keep you stimulated because the real universe have been deprived. You've been deprived from it, and then this artificial intelligence they have introduced to you is more. It stimulates you more. So you don't want what's real. You want what's fake because what's fake have overridden what's real. This is the matrix that I'm talking about. They're depriving you of your senses. Your hearing. Your hearing is only at a certain hertz. That's why if you get a dog whistle and you blow a dog whistle, you will see the dog start barking in the neighborhood, but you don't hear the whistle, showing you that you are already limited by your sensory senses. Your brain is already guessing and guesstimating by the senses because the senses is already stuck in a matrix. They have taken this matrix and put you in another matrix. You see that? Look, y'all, check this out. The sensory senses make all things validated in the external environment. See that you cannot validate anything outside of you without your senses. How you know something look good is because you can see it. How you know something tastes good is because you can taste it. How you know something feel good to you because you can feel it. How you know something hear good is because you can hear it. What if I can get between the messengers, between your sensory senses, and I can put my own information in there? That will keep you completely asleep to what's really going on in the outside world. And that's what's happening with Africans. That's what's happening with Africans in America, Africans in Europe, Africans in Britain, Africans in Australia, Africans everywhere globally. We have been hijacked. They have hijacked our consciousness. And when you hijack consciousness, it puts you in a sleep state. And that sleep state makes you dream because you hate that your consciousness has been hijacked from you. So you create an illusion of freedom. And that's the reason why you spend your money on things that don't matter. That's the reason why you're spending your money on all these different designer clothes when you haven't went sovereign yet, when you haven't bought land to grow your own food and to grow your own crops. And that's why you really don't even give a hell about doing all these things, because you stuck up in the matrix, because they have hijacked your consciousness and embedded their information to make you a consumer. Think about it. Look, it's a book by Michael Hitchison. It's called The Mega Brain. Y'all look this up. It's a book by Michael Hitchison, and it's called The Mega Brain. And he was talking about basically how sleep and sensory deprivation is the same thing, and how you being put in certain environments can actually make you sleep scientifically. For instance, if I put you in a ghetto right now and on welfare, independent on a government, and I put you in a place and I drop off cocaine and get the people addicted to cocaine like the CIA did, or drop off guns inside of the neighborhood like the CIA did, and I strip out all of the resources from the neighborhood, and I put different cultures in the neighborhood and completely erase your culture from the neighborhood, and I take love out of the community and I associate love with sugar, and then I put sugar in the neighborhood, you will start seeing a people start literally acting out their environment through their inputs. The environment input information in your brain, and your brain sends this information through melanin neurotransmitters throughout the body, and then you start acting out the environment that you're in. So if I put you in an environment that's completely fake, that's completely artificial, you will have a chemical change inside of your brain to start making you act out the environment that you're in. This is called being sleep. And by you being in that environment, your brain will start making up different type of scenarios to make you forget that you're actually in this downtrodden, low consciousness vibrational state. For instance, that's the reason why we feel the need to go buy things super expensive, because it makes us feel like that we're not poor. It makes us feel like that we are financially stable. That's the reason why we feel the need to have the baddest woman on the block, because it makes us feel like that we are worth something. You see that it all changes our senses. That's the reason why you feel that shrimp and steak and lobster is actually the rich man food, but really the rich and wealthy man food is fruitarianism, eating fruits that's picked from the tree, or eating food that you grew from your own land. That's the reason why you feel buying a mansion instead of buying acres and building on those acres is more equivalent to being free, because they have changed your senses by sensory deprivation. They deprived you of true information and then hijacked your consciousness and gave you this fake ass illusion of life, or what you call the American dream. And you are chasing the American dream instead of chasing your true freedom. Now, scientifically, this is what makes you sick, and I'm gonna show you how. When you start reading this book in 1920, it's something called the bright rat experiment. This was created by scientists in 1920, right? And what they found out is they took the brightest rats and they seen how rats ran inside of mazes. But then they noticed that certain rats that they got from other environments could not figure the maze out. And it baffled the scientists. This is in 1920. It baffled the scientists. The scientist was like, well, how? It's the same rats. It's the same genetic makeup. They just from two different environments. I think one rat was from China, somewhere the other rats was from Russia. They put these same rats, which is the same genetically made rats, just from two different environments inside the maze. And one of them made it through the maze and another one didn't. He said, is this just a coincidence? So he got 80 rats from each different parts and did the same thing. And the rats that came from China made it through the maze and the rats that came from Russia didn't. And he constantly wondering like, what the hell is going on here? He said it can't be the genetics because the genetical biological makeup of the rats is the same. And he said it must be the environment. So then what he did was this. He said, well, I wonder if I change the environment of both rats, will the rats that come from China start acting dumb? And will the rats that come from Russia start acting smart? So he took the rats and he changed the actual environment. And guess what happened? The dumb rats now was making it through the maze. The smart rats now could not make it through the maze. So is you truly smart and intelligent, or do your environment make you smart and intelligent? Do your environment make you make the life choices and decisions you made? Because I ain't never in my life seen somebody grew up with a silver and gold spoon that had everything they wanted, that was educated in the right way to secure the survival of their people, go out and make stupid decisions against themselves that will harm them or that will stop them from fulfilling the purpose of securing the nation and the longevity of their people. But you see that when you get stuck in a false environment by false people, because you were once kings and queens, you were gods, you had all the gold in the world, you had civilizations. Do you realize when you read this book and it talks about how they undeveloped Africa, how all the minerals in Africa come from you, come from your ancestral line, all the kings and queens come from Africa, come from you, come from your ancestral line? Huh? We talking about birthing the civilizations, teaching people how to bathe, teaching people how to knit, how to sew, how to clothe themselves, how to hold their pampers up, how to wipe their asses, how to brush their teeth. All of that come from you. So how can you, a people, which is not the minority, you're the majority of the people. When you start talking about the European race and you start talking about the Neanderthals, that makes up 10% of the population globally. They only make up 10% of the population globally. Do you realize that you are the majority here? So how can 10% of the world population literally put 75% of the people under their feet? How can you do something like that if it's not through witchcraft, if it's not through spell casting and casting spells to get you to change from a real reality to a false reality? That's what they have done, and they do this through the media. And that's why media and images is so important, and that's why we should not allow our children nor ourselves to watch the news. We need to control our own information, because information is food for the soul. Information is food for the brain. So whoever is giving you information is feeding your environment. The environment inputs this information into your brain. This brain turns these things into chemistry, and this chemistry acts out your actuality. This is nothing but satanic mind control, and this is the reason why you sick. It's the reason why you sick. And then you look at them and you notice how they move and how they operate. You won't see them in all the designer clothes, but you will see them owning land. You will see them owning gold and minerals. You will see them owning guns, and you will see them prepping for survival. But you see us, we riding around in the most fancy cars. We riding around with the most designer clothes on, and we're the brokest. We're the brokest. They have more money. They got more credit. Our credit messed up. If you look at how it's going, and we think that this is good. We think it's good to be riding around on your last check in that car that you can't afford. We think it's good to be dependent on the government and using your food stamps to fill your refrigerator up with foods that's killing you, that's not even real food. We have become so addicted and so normal to being in this fake stimulation that anything that tries to pull you out and to wake you up from it, you look at it like it's a threat. And usually it's your own people that's trying to wake you up out of that slumber that you in, and you will look at me like I'm your enemy, but you won't look at the people that have created the environment that got you sociologically sick like you are. You see that? As the enemy. And this is the reason why you sick. Now, let me get to my point. So after he changed the rats, right? He took the environments, he put them in different environments and put them back in the maze. And he noticed that when he took the smart rats and put them in the poor environment, that they could not make it through the maze. But when he took the dumb rats and put it in the luxury environment, they make it through the maze. Showing you that it doesn't have nothing to do with black genetics. This have everything to do with the environment that you place black people in. And that predicts the outcome, because the environmental status is truly the brain. The environment is the mind. The environment is what actually implements and input the information, the sensory senses inside of you. And then you decode that environment. And the way that you decode that environment is how you're going to see it, and how you're going to be of culture, or how you're going to be of yourself. How you're going to be capitalism or communism. How you're going to be communal living, or how you're going to be into individualism, into the ego. All based off the environment that you grew up in. Ooh-wee. Now the question is this: who created your environment? That's the question. This goes way deeper than our moms, our grandfathers, our ancestral lines, and all of that. Because who created your environment? Who put these schools and these public schools inside of your environment? Who put all of these different Chinaman food places, Brazil food places, hair weave place where the weave is straight? Everything that's in the environment don't have nothing to do with you nor your culture, but yet you are buying into these things. You spend your money on all these things. You're spending your money on all these things, and it have nothing to do with the liberation of you, your family, nor your people. So we see that we didn't create this environment. We were strategically placed in this environment, and this is the reason why we sick. We're sick because we're homesick. We don't even know what home look like or feel like even more. Even if you go back to Africa right now, that's not even home anymore, because they done turned that into a stimulation. And that's why it behooves us to have true teachers, true seekers, true healers out here awakening the people. Now, check this out, y'all. So the scientist in this experiment, he noticed something that was very flabbergasting to him. He like, when I take the poor rats from the poor environment and put them in a unique environment that's suitable for their cells, and then I put them in a maze, they make it through the maze or make it through life just fine. See that? You have to look at maze like it's a life. See that? An environment. When he put the poor environment rats in a good situation, in a good environment, and let them be in that good environment for a minute, and then he put these poor dumb rats in the maze, they made it through the maze just fine. They made it through life just fine. But when he put the smart, intelligent rats that came from the luxury lifestyle, that had every pro and everything that they needed to make it, every tool that they needed to make it in life, when he put them in a poor environment for a while and took them out the poor environment and then put them in a maze, guess what? They failed to make it through the maze. So it behooves us to change our environment, family. This is the key to your evolution, your revolution, and your freedom. We must create our own environment. And the only way we can do that is by landing. We have to land. We have to unite, buy land, and create our own systems, our own institutes, and our own structures. It's time to rebuild our culture. I'm tired of us keep bringing up the past. We always want to bring up Egypt. We want to bring up Hebrew Israelites. We want to bring up all the past and how they advanced civilization. And we don't talk about the failures enough. See that? It's time to redefine our culture, because your culture is your sociological entities that make you survive as a people. Without culture, it's impossible to survive, because the culture is the family. These are things where all things are shared in common. All things are grown. We all ate at one time. We all survived and did combat training together. The women were nurturing the children and giving them education. The men were out picking from trees and farming. It's called husbandry, a husbandman. We were agreeing with our culture, which means agriculture. We were planting seeds and pulling the seeds up. We literally ate what we put in the ground. Do you realize psychologically how that changes the mind when you plant something and then it grows and you spent the responsibility on taking care of it and you pluck it from the ground and you put it on your table and you eat it? That psychologically changes acetylcholine chemicals inside of your brain and it gives you a power, a sense of power, of control, because you're controlling your own destiny. See that? And that's what they're keeping you from. They're keeping you from tapping into your power. Now, let's get back to the rat experiment though, because this is deep. So after he realized that the environment is what was making the rats dumb or smart, he said, I wonder if this me changing their environment changes their biochemical makeup in their brain. Now check this out. This shit get deep, y'all. He said, I wonder if changing these, remember that the rats shared the same genetical code, same frequency, same everything. They were the same exact rats. They just grew up in different environments. When you switch the environments, the outcome of their life was different. And it behooved, it blew his mind. He said, so I wonder if this change, if the environment have a chemical change on their physical body and on their physical brain. So they checked the brains of each one. And what they noticed is the rats that could not make it through the maze, the rats that could not make it through life, they had a less amount of something called acetylcholinesterase. Acetylcholinesterase is an enzymic reaction due to nerve endings in melanin neurotransmitters implementing itself through the brain and spreading messages throughout the body. So he notices that the dumb rats that came from the poor environment, they had lacked the acetylcholinesterase. They lacked it. And he noticed that the smart rats, the rats that made it through the maze, they had high amounts of acetylcholinesterase. Now this is deep, because acetylcholinesterase is very, 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 very important when it comes to the human body, because acetylcholinesterase converts to acetylcholine. Now, what is acetylcholine? Acetylcholine is actually produced by the autonomic nervous system, by the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, to open up your lymphatic system for kidney filtration. These are facts, y'all. This is fact. So you telling me by just simply putting me in the wrong environment that my lymphatic system can be compromised? My mucous membrane can be compromised? My kidneys can stop filtrating lymph because acetylcholine is not being converted by acetylcholinesterase, which is an enzymic reaction that opens up and dilates or constrict my lymphatic vessels and my blood vessels. What happens to blood vessels and arteries that are constricted and not getting proper blood flow? We have hemorrhaging, What else do we have? We have cardiovascular system problems. We have heart failure. We have kidney failure. What else do we have? We have aneurysms, showing you that the very thing that is causing us to be sick is the damn environment that was created by another people and not by our own ancestors. So if we can change the environment, we can change the chemical composition and makeup of our brain, and we can start living a life of actuality and reality, and not this fake simulation that they got us in. We are scientifically asleep. And we have created a dream state to keep us away or keep us unaware of the fact that we are being exploited, we are being robbed, and we are being killed and murdered for monetary gain's sake. It hurt us so bad. The trauma is so overwhelming that we have to create a fucking dream state to keep away from all the ancestral trauma and cellular memory that we have witnessed and been through since we've been here. You are dreaming. Wake up. This is the Matrix. Wake up. This is fake. You have never seen the real world. The real world was taken away when your ancestors was drug over here, and when the Africans that was here that called themselves Native American Indians were killed and drugged everywhere else. The world ain't been the same since. The world stopped being the real world when when your culture was taken from you. The world has stopped being the real world when your God was taken from you. Your God concept was taken from you. When your bartering and trading was taken from you. When your family was taken from you. When your elders was taken from you. When your priest was taken from you. When your prophets was taken from you. When your traditions was taken from you. When your customs was taken from you. When your food was taken from you. When your clothing was taken from you, when your literature was taken from you, when your scrolls was taken from you, and when your land was taken from you. The world changed and ain't been the same since. Ain't been the same since. You are living in a fake world. You are watching fake TV. You are eating fake food. You're breathing in fake air. You're drinking fake water. Your senses and your consciousness have been hijacked by another people, and you are living out the reality in the program that they have written for you. Who are you? Who are you? You are certainly not who they told you who you are. Who are you? You sure don't like them damn pizzas and hamburgers. Ignorance is bliss. You don't really like that bull crap. You don't like that. That's why you have to put herbs on it to make it taste good. You can see the glitches in the matrix all the time. That's a simple glitch right there, where you get fake meat and you got to put all these different types of natural herbs and chemistry on it to even make it taste good. That's a glitch in the matrix right there. You seeing the glitch and you subconsciously see the glitch so much that you will put all natural shit on it to make it taste good for you can eat down the fake food. That's a glitch. That is a glitch in the matrix. Another glitch in the matrix where you don't feel good or you're feeling down, so you emotionally eat or you want to drink and take neurotoxins and smoke weed. That is a glitch. You're showing that whenever you have gotten a taste of the real world in the real life, you love the dream and you love the sleep so much that you would take drugs to take you back into the euphoria because it kills you to have to deal with the actuality that you are living in a devastated world and that you have been robbed, raped, and exploited all of your life, all the way down to your ancestral line. So you drunk, you out of your mind all the time, you in clubs, you looking for pussy, you looking for dick, shaking your ass all day, being distracted for the fact that when you recognize what we really is dealing with, you can't handle it. So you rather settle for what? The matrix. You rather settle for the sensory deprivation. You rather settle from the scientific sleep that we in. It's time to wake up out of the slumber. It's time to wake up. I just proved, and you can look this stuff up, that the chemical change due to the environment changes the acetylcholinesterase. The acetylcholinesterase actually produces acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is produced by the adrenal glands, which sits on top of the kidneys, and this is actually in control of the constriction and the dilation of your actual lymphatic vessels. The lymphatic system is the true immunological systems. So if you want to weaken your immunity, which is a lying bullshit simulation word that they taught us don't exist, it's called the lymphatic defense system. And if you want the environment to attack you and kill you, and you get all types of different viral loads and bacteria infections and parasitic infections, all these long ass curse words that keep you asleep and not awoke, then guess what? All you have to do is keep living in their environment that they created for you. It's time to change our environment. It's time. It's time to get off of all their assistance. Enough trillions of dollars run through all of our hands every year. What are we doing with it? You see that? And they talking about the metaverse and NFTs. Negro, your ass been in the metaverse. You been in a fake simulation. You been tasting fake food, GMO food, seedless crops, food and crops with herbicides, pesticides, insecticides on it. You been looking at things wrong, and they are literally making you buy things and be a consumer through color therapy. They make it look red, that attracts your lower root chakra. Now you want to have sex, so you buy it out of sexual lust urges. They make it look blue, it makes you calm down and it calms the nervous system. It makes you think about vacations. So now you buying this and buying that. You want to be in Miami here, Miami there. You want to do everything but get your ass up out of the slavery and mental enslavement that you in. You see orange, that makes the solar plex chakra get, now the gut is active. They make you see yellow. Now all of a sudden, that's where you get the highlighter, the yellow school bus. Now you have intellectual capacity. They've been controlling your senses, y'all. They've been doing this. This is a big old psychological ritual witchcraft, and our people are under a damn spell, and it's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to wake up. It's time. Yes, I know this hurt. You are stuck on a fake earth. You're breathing in fake air. You're drinking fake water. You're eating fake food. See that? Real water is not H2O. It is H3O2 from your fruits. Real food is not meat and dairy products and not grains and beans. It is actually fruits, berries, and melons, little bit of nuts and seeds. That is real fruit. You see that? Real women don't have fake asses, fake tits, and fake hair. They're all natural in their natural state. Real men are protectors and provider for the goddess. They are not somebody that sit on their ass, play games all day, and let their woman rule the household and provide for their own household. Real school systems teaches children educations and tools and utensils for them to be able to secure the actual survival of their own species and their own race. Fake school is when you go to school and you learn about a fake history. They don't teach you nothing but slavery, post-slavery shit, not who you were before slaveries and before they came over there and snatched your ass from Africa. That's not real education. We always talking about we want an education like everybody else. Do you realize that we are so chemically different, especially when it comes from a neurological standpoint, that you can take a Caucasian to school and you can take an African to school, the same school, and get taught by the same teacher, and they're going to get something totally different from each lesson? Somebody please ask me why. Somebody please ask me why. How can you take two different ethnicities, two different tribal people to the same school, getting taught by the same teacher, but they both get a different outcome of the inputs? Can somebody ask me why, if I can explain this? Somebody just say why, Yaki. How is that possible? I'm going to tell you why it's possible. Because they both come from two totally different environments. And the environment that you come from, plus the biochemical makeup and difference from prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells, will always have your senses decoding information differently. And that's why culture is so important. That's why culture is so important. You have lost your culture. What do a culture consist of? A culture consists of a land. What land do the black man have that's not exploited? Huh? You lost your land. The culture consists of a language. What language do the Africans have? Africans are speaking French in Africa. Africans and Americans are speaking English. English don't even come from America. It comes from England. Huh? Let's talk about Jamaica. It's all. And then you got some speaking Creole, Swahili, but it's not your original language. It is not your original language. So we have lost our land, which is a part of a culture. We have lost our language, which is a part of our culture. We have lost our tradition. We are celebrating Christmas, Valentine's, all Roman Greco society traditions to worship paganistic gods. So you lost your traditions and you lost your God. What God do you serve? A lot of y'all still think Jesus was a blue, blind, white boy with blue eyes. So you have lost your land. You have lost your language. You have lost your traditions. You have lost your God. You have lost your clothing. Most of the clothes that we buy and wear are made by Europeans and not made by your own people. You even lost your clothing. You are fed by another people. You get water and drink from another people. Huh? The tissue you wipe your ass with ain't even made by you. Everything that has something to do with you is, and you succeeding in this world, is about you depending on someone else. And last but not least, which is the most important, you have lost your name. See, name is Shem in the Hebraic Afro-Phoenician language. It's Shem. Shem means the authority and the characteristics thereof. Your name expresses your nature. You have lost your name because you have been disassociated with your nature, which is your true classroom. And you have been taken out of nature and put into this virtual simulation that is hijacking your African consciousness, and you think you somebody you not. And that's why you sick. That's why you sick. Because you're producing the lowest amount of acetylcholinesterase, which produces acetylcholine, which actually opens up and move your lymphatic systems that keep all the toxins that you've been bringing into your body out of your body, keeping you from being sick, all based off of the environment that you was put in. So we have to change our environment. We got to. And that's what I'm here to do. That's the reason why we have implemented the Risen Black Messiah Project. We're going to be in Atlanta February the 26th, y'all. We getting the venue today. We making the flyers. We're going to talk about this. It's time for us to unify. It's time for us to land. It's time for you to land. You have to get into landing, buy land. It's time for us to start implementing. Notice every culture is made of locksmiths, of metal workers, of cookers, of teachers. We need to bring all of these things together. I'm telling you the how right now. Yes, ATL, my brother Jeremiah. Shouts out to my brother Jeremiah, Shalom, shalom, God. We need to bring all of our people together. And we need to start an actual chain committee. We need to start a coalition of lands. And each person on every different land need to be offering something different. We need hierarchy. We need elders. We need organization. We need structure. Because when our culture was taken from us, our structure left. Our priorities left. Our spirituality left. Our education left. Our morality left. Everything about us that made us who we were, which was these gods and goddesses, these kings and queens that started an advanced civilization. All of these key qualities that came from our ancestors have left us because our culture was stolen from us and our identity was stolen from us. The only way to get your identity back is by culturing. You have to culture. You have to land. You have to communal living is the only way we're going to be able to survive as a people. The world is dying. The fake simulation is collapsing. The real world look like a rogue world, y'all. Buildings fucked up, ain't no grass growing. These people done messed up the real world. They done messed up the real world. They killed the water. They killing the fish life. They killing the aqua life. They killing the land animals. So many animals or stink. So many plants or stink. They chopping down all the trees, getting rid of all of our true oxygen. It is messed up out here. We have to rebuild. We have to rebuild our culture, rebuild civilization. We have to rebuild our people on every aspect, y'all. And I can't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. And we have to do it without religion. If religion is involved, it is going to fail. And that's the reason why they created religion, meaning you're spinning yourself in a 360-degree cycle. You're trapped in a time warp and you can't get out. There's never been anything perfect about 360 degrees because you stuck in a time loop. And that's how they got you on a 9-to-5 cycle, got you living off their calendars. And, you got time. You let time control you and run you. We create time. It is time to truly, truly wake up, y'all. These people have destroyed everything and they're giving you a false life. They're giving you a false life. You thinking that earth is still good. No, it's not. You thinking that food you eating is real? No, it's not. It's GMO. No seeds in it. It's GMO. You thinking that water is good? No, it's not. Have all types of arsenic acid and mercury in it. No, it's not. That's not real water. You thinking all the crops you eat? No, it's not good. They got herbicides, pesticides, insecticides on it. It will kill you. It kills biological entities. Last time I checked, you're a bioentity living being. You think these houses good? These houses too close together. They look, you own a house and don't even own the land. So if they want to come take their land, they can tell you to get the fuck out. It's an illusion. You are asleep scientifically and you need to wake up. And I can't do this by myself. I can't. I need y'all help. So we are starting a 16-city tour called the Risen Black Messiah Alliance, where we are getting together as a collective whole and we're bringing all of our resources to the table, and hopefully you will bring all of your resources to the table. And what we're going to do is form a plan, a crucial plan, a perfect plan to actually liberate the people. Liberate the people. It's time for it. It's time to invest in lands. It's time to buy land. It's time to become sovereign. It's time to buy your children back, buy your name back, buy your corporation back, buy your social security back, which is nothing but a bank routing number. It's time to stop being on sea and it's time to be on land. They changed it by landing. Now everything is birth, a birth certificate. You birth ships. A ship is birthed. A ship is birthed at a canal. And that's why you have the birthing canal. Well, I thought a berth is where ships go. The canal is where the ships dock at. And then on the ships is merchandise, things for you to sell, buy, and trade. You are literally collateral damage. You are a damn product. Your social security number is a banking routing number. Your birth certificate is a certificate of sales because your ass have been sold. That's why they call it river banks. When you're on a river bank, a banking system is where currency's at. Currency, water, river bank. You are literally intellectual property being sold on the stock market. It's time for you to go sovereign and buy yourself back. That way we can have our own land, build our own schools, build our own people, have our own education, and live amongst our own, y'all. That's the only way we're going to be able to survive and actually secure the future survival of our people. Our whole entire race here is at stake. And I can't even say race because I don't believe in the word race. That was actually created in the early 1800s by college professors to actually implement white supremacy. So let me not say race because there's no such thing as race. But you see that? So what is the first step? That's a good question, Goddess. The first step is what I just said. We have to have these meetings. And these meetings is not just to talk. These meetings is to implement plans. And then these plans must be followed through. You see that? Yes, of course we need an army. But that stuff we talk about outside of, Facebook and Instagram. Because we know they listening. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we need everything to build a nation. But the first thing you need to build any nation is land. You need land. You cannot build a nation without landing. You can't. You have to land. You have to land, y'all. And that's the first thing. First thing first is the land. And then we can build nationhood. But without nationhood, without being pan-African globalists, without setting aside religion and being able to build with your brother and work with your brother, regardless on how he conceptualized God, this will not work. It's time to put away religion. Put it away. I don't care what long as you ain't serving and doing dark magic and serving Satan himself, we can build. You don't have to believe in the God that I believe in. It's all talking about the same thing when you get down to the scientific implements in the life. And it's all talking about raising your animal basically sacrificing your animalistic nature and coming into the God that you are. Your whole thing and purpose in life is to become the reflection of your creator. That's your whole thing, to have a perfect relationship with your creator. There's many different systems or what they call religions to show you how to do that. I'm not knocking you because you choose a different way to conceptualize God. You're not my enemy or none of that. Because you from a whole different era and culture of me, and that's the way that your environment taught you how to serve God. How do that make you my enemy? If anything, that make me want to help you more, for we can be in unison at unity with each other. Religion is separating and dividing us, y'all. It is. You got the Hebrews banging with the Kemet brothers. The Kemet brothers banging with the Hebrew brothers. Both of them banging with the brothers that believe in Hinduism. They banging with the 5%ers. They banging with Islam, our self-law and masters. They banging with the Moors, Science Temple. When the truth fact of the matter is, everybody have essential information, and if we put all the damn keys together, we can unlock the whole door together. The Christianity ain't got it all. Hebrews ain't got it all. Kemet ain't got it all. Hinduism ain't got it all. The 5%ers ain't got it all. And the Moors ain't got it all. But if we bring it all together, we can finally figure some things out and do something about the situation we in. All Negroes is doing is arguing over who is more intellectual, arguing, stroking their Christian found fathers, stroking a penis. Well, I know this and I know this type of it, but you ain't doing nothing. Where's the land at? Where's the gathering of the people? Where's the gathering of the nations at? Where's the healing at? All of our people out here sick and dying of diseases and all of that. Where's the institutes at? Where's the black hospitals at? Medicine-less hospitals, where we actually have our own hospitals and buildings, giving them all types of plant therapy to heal them. And until we do that, what are we arguing about? We can talk about the rest of that shit later. And I'm calling that shit because that's what it is, because all it does is drive a wedge of division amongst our African mind. This is a part of the actual hijacking of consciousness, and y'all don't even see that because y'all are so stuck in religion and indoctrination. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real with each other. Let's just keep it funky. Let's keep it 100 on all sides. Every nation have a different concept of God. You can go to China right now. They are unified, and they believe in the dragon. They believe in the butterfly. They believe in Buddha. They believe in they conceptualize God in all type of different ways. I think there's over 70 different religions in China. You don't see China banging with China. You don't see the Chinaman banging with the Chinaman. We can go to Russia. They believe in Shiva, Sharvitic. They believe in all different 7 root races. They believe in all the Book of Secrets. They believe in all type of different religions. But they unified though, because they realize that you can't knock somebody how they conceptualize God. But oh no, the black man. Our Hebrews don't fuck with it. Nah, them Kemet niggas gay. Or the Kemet nigga. I can't fuck with them Hebrew niggas. They served Adam, and Adam was a Greek. Oh, we can't mess with them Moors, brothers. They stole all their informations from the Nile Valley River. Oh, no, we can't mess with them 5%ers. They believe in 5% of all knowledge. Oh, we can't mess with them Muslims. They call Elijah Muhammad a prophet. Only niggas on earth that can't agree that we are all suffering from the whole lesson that I'm talking about right now. Only people on earth that can't put religion to the side and build the table, get our land, and then discuss all of this later. All we want to do is debate and have dick contests. That's all we doing. All we do. That's all we doing. But ain't no work getting done though. No, where's the work at? We got to raise our children sovereign, y'all. We got to get our children up out of these schools. We got to get our children up out of this matrix, off this fake food. We got to limit the TV time on our children, because the TV is teaching them. The internet is teaching them. Facebook is teaching them. And remember, the information that comes in within the environment changes the chemical composition of the brain, and the chemical composition go through melanin neurotransmitters. This actually manifests through the body, and you act out your reality or the environment that you're in. And you wonder why you have all these different problems. And yes, we've been talking to all the NFL players. I've been hanging out with all the NFL players. I've been hanging out with all the professional football players. I've been hanging out with all the musicians, the entertainer. I just left from the Marley's house from Miami, Florida. So I've been at all the highest, the highest elites amongst the black community that had the most money. We've been talking to all of them. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing I'm telling y'all, I've been telling them. What are you gonna do for the people? All these millions, where is that? Look, we got to start putting this into the people. Is it your responsibility? We are each other's responsibility. Y'all got all this influence and all this money. What's up? We need plans. We need plans. We need plans here and right now, because this shit ain't getting no better. It ain't getting no better. So that's why I've been so busy, and that's why I've been traveling so much, because I've been talking to the influencers. Shouts out to How to Vegan ATL, my brother J.O. J.O. done connected me with a lot of professional NBA players, y'all. So shouts out to J.O. on there, man. I appreciate you, brother God, man. I can't thank you enough for even, getting me connected with all those people. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to NFL player, play for the Cleveland Browns, Jeremiah. He been hooking me up with a whole lot of people. Shouts out to my brother that played for the Jackson Jaguars, Rodney Gunter. To hook me up with a whole lot of people. So shouts out to the Marley. Shouts out to my brother Yosef Matiyahu. He's been connecting me with a whole lot of people. You see what I'm saying? So that's the time. It's time to get the movers and shakers together at the table to implement a plan. But we ain't shit without the people. Okay, we leaders, but the leaders can't lead if they don't have a people to lead. You see what I'm saying? If they don't have a people to lead. So that's what we're looking for next. We need the people. A leader is nothing without the people. A elder is nothing. His knowledge don't mean shit without a people to teach it to. A cook purpose is not purposeful unless she have a village to feed. Shouts out to Tiffany Haddish too. Shouts out to Tiffany Haddish. I love you, Queen. We need to talk. I've been hitting you up. I heard about everything that's been happening. So, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to her. She flew me and Kawhi out, So we've been linking up with the movers and shakers. A lot of people are going through a lot of different things in their lives, and we get that. But look, it's time to get serious, y'all. This shit is collapsing. It's collapsing. It is most definitely collapsing. It's time. Like, what are we doing? If you in a powerful position, be powerful. Make some power moves. Straight up. Straight up. And that's all I'm saying. But don't that blow your mind though? How being in a certain environment or being in a dream state changes the chemical composition, and based on the environment that you in, creates a certain composition of acetylcholinesterase, and depending on how much acetylcholinesterase or how little acetylcholinesterase have everything to do with your physical health and mobility. That is mind-blowing, showing you that even before the food and the drink, the environment is killing us. But the culture, the food, the tradition, and the drink is all a part of the environment. So yeah, y'all, we on it. The flyer's being made now. I'm gonna post it. The tickets are $30. Make sure that y'all buy the tickets when we put it up. I'm gonna have Kawhi put it on Kawhi. I think we're gonna put it on Eventbrite. Y'all buy them tickets up. We traveling to 16 cities. I'm bringing a presentation and a plan and information like never before. I'm coming out with some information that people ain't never, ever, ever heard. And we're gonna prove everything we talking about. And we finna make this happen. Look, our purpose here is to land. We come from the heavens. We came and we landed on earth. How the hell have you landed and you don't even have land to land on? Make that make sense. Make it make sense. Shouts out to the ancestors. Shouts out to Dr. Sabi. Shouts out and rest in peace, rest in power. Dr. Layla Africa. Dr. Amos Wilson. Dr. Ben Yakanan Yosef. Dr. El DeBoer. All of the great African consciousness minds and leaders that is pouring themselves into me. The ancestors have been channeling through me like never before, man. I'm really open and receiving all that divine guidance, and I just thank Yahweh for the African mind and for the ancestors and for all the powerful minds like Malcolm X and, just Marcus Garvey, all those who have